Have you ever felt like you're battling invisible forces every single day? You wake up with a mind racing with thoughts, face relentless pressure at work, question your future, and yet, you push forward as if nothing is wrong. Most people go through life feeling overwhelmed and reactive, always at the mercy of their circumstances. They let fear dictate their choices, doubt control their actions, and surrender their power to everything and everyone around them. But what if there were a mindset capable of changing all that? A way of thinking and acting that makes you unshakable in the face of any challenge. A mental framework so potent that, when fully embodied, people can sense it. Something that commands respect. Something that intimidates weakness itself. Today, we're going to explore the mind of a master of resilience, Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary warrior who didn't just win over 60 duels, but learned to conquer the most difficult opponent of all, himself. If you're watching this video, it's because you want to go beyond your current limits. You want mental strength, discipline, and purpose, and that's exactly what you're about to uncover. Miyamoto Musashi may sound like a figure from distant history, but his life is one of the clearest examples of mental toughness and self-discipline ever recorded. Born in 17th century Japan, a time of constant warfare and instability, Musashi began his journey as a warrior in childhood. At just 13, he fought his first duel and won. From that point on, he embarked on a path that would cement him as a living legend. But what sets Musashi apart isn't just his victories. It's that he didn't rely solely on. Musashi didn't rely on natural talent or sheer physical strength. He understood something most people never grasp. The mind is the ultimate weapon. While other samurai focused exclusively on perfecting their sword techniques, Musashi was cultivating something far more powerful, an unbreakable mental framework. He wasn't just an undefeated swordsman, known for never losing any of his more than 60 duels. He was also a strategist, a philosopher, and an artist. His teachings were immortalized in the famous Book of Five Rings, where he didn't simply explain combat techniques, but revealed principles for living with purpose, clarity, and mastery of the self. Remarkably, Musashi often won duels before they even began. His reputation for mental toughness was so formidable that many opponents would forfeit rather than face him. This wasn't just skill with a blade, it was the aura of absolute confidence and unwavering resolve he projected. Instead of following the traditions of his time, Musashi broke patterns and developed his own style, the Nitten Ichiryu. He proved that true mastery extends beyond the sword, showing that conquering oneself is the first step to conquering the world. Modern psychology confirms what Musashi demonstrated centuries ago. Researchers at Harvard note that individuals with this level of inner mastery exhibit psychological resilience, the ability to maintain focus, clarity, and emotional stability under extreme pressure. Modern neuroscience now shows that mental strength can be developed and strengthened like a muscle. But what does it mean to have a monster mindset? It's not about aggression or intimidation. It's an unshakable mental strength born from discipline, focus, and the ability to remain steady even when everything around you is falling apart. Think back to the last time you faced a truly difficult situation, maybe a workplace conflict, financial crisis, or personal loss. How did you respond? Most people panic, make impulsive decisions, or shut down entirely. But these moments of crisis are actually opportunities to develop mental fortitude. Musashi embraced this mindset. He didn't expect life to be easy. Every challenge strengthened him. He understood that adversity isn't something to avoid, it's a teacher. Having a monster mindset means approaching difficulties with the question, what is this trying to teach me? It's turning pain into fuel, discomfort into growth, and fear into strategy. Here's the key most people miss. Fear and weakness aren't your enemies. Your enemy is allowing them to control your actions. Facing challenges directly, with courage and awareness, is rare, but attainable. When you cultivate this mindset, it doesn't matter if you're in a boardroom, handling family issues, or facing internal struggles. You remain calm, clear, and determined. The monster isn't the one who shouts, it's the one who doesn't retreat. It's the person others sense is different, someone commanding quiet respect. Neuroscientists at Stanford have found that practicing this type of mental discipline produces measurable changes in the brain, particularly in regions linked to emotional regulation and stress resilience. The brain literally rewires itself to handle pressure more efficiently. Musashi didn't just leave victories behind, he left principles. Born on the battlefield, they apply perfectly to modern life. And this is how the monster mindset is built, by turning principles into daily action. Principle 1. The way is in training. For Musashi, every day was an opportunity to improve. He trained not just to defeat opponents, but to surpass himself. Most people misunderstand training. They think it's only about grand moments or dramatic breakthroughs. Musashi knew mastery is forged in mundane repetition, in showing up even when you don't feel like it. Every small task, every corrected mistake, every repeated movement is part of the path. Excellence isn't built on motivation, it's built on discipline. Musashi practiced thousands of sword movements, not because he was unskilled, but because excellence is cultivated through habit, not sporadic inspiration. Daily practice shapes your future. Every day you skip is a day others move ahead. Every day you show up is a step ahead of those who quit under pressure. UCLA sports psychology research confirms that elite performers in every field share this trait. They view every day as a chance for deliberate practice, regardless of mood or circumstance. The difference between professionals and amateurs is consistency. Principle 2. Understand the damage and benefit in all things. This principle is subtler but equally transformative. Musashi never acted without purpose. Every strike, every decision was calculated. He recognized that even victories carry risk, and certain defeats can teach more than countless triumphs. This is where most people fail in life. They make decisions based on short-term satisfaction rather than long-term outcomes. They take the easy path instead of the right one, prioritizing momentary comfort over future growth. Musashi approached every choice like a chess master, thinking several moves ahead. He understood that sometimes losing a small battle is necessary to win the war. Accepting short-term discomfort for long-term gain became second nature. This teaches us to act consciously. Before making a decision, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to my goals or further away? Does it strengthen me or hold me back? Is this action shaping the person I want to become, or keeping me trapped in old patterns? In a world full of distractions, knowing what to avoid is just as crucial as knowing what to pursue. Social media, toxic relationships, and time-wasting habits might feel harmless in the moment, but they gradually erode mental strength. Living strategically is living powerfully. Behavioral economists at MIT have shown that highly successful decision-makers consistently apply this kind of cost-benefit analysis, not only to financial choices but to all areas of life, from relationships to daily routines. Every choice either builds them up or tears them down. Principle 3. Perceive what cannot be seen. This principle may sound almost spiritual, but it is highly practical. Musashi didn't win solely through skill or strength. He won by reading the environment, sensing energy, and understanding the intentions of others. This is refined intuition. But this isn't mystical. It's about developing situational awareness to notice what others miss, reading body language, picking up subtle cues, and understanding unspoken dynamics. Most people move through life on autopilot, blind to signals all around them. They miss opportunities and walk into conflict because they only see the surface. In practical terms, this means being present. Perceive when a conversation requires silence, when a path requires patience, when action is necessary. Learn to read between the lines of people, situations, and even yourself. With this skill, patterns begin to emerge. You sense when someone is lying before they finish speaking. You notice when a deal is likely to fail or a relationship is heading toward trouble. This creates a significant advantage in every area of life. Cognitive science research at Oxford confirms that individuals who develop this situational awareness show increased activity in brain regions responsible for pattern recognition and predictive processing. They're not psychic, they're simply observant and attentive. Principle 4. Adaptability. One of the most striking traits of Musashi's philosophy is adaptability. He understood that no single technique works for every battle. He adjusted posture, style, and rhythm as needed. This lesson is incredibly relevant today. In a fast-changing world, resisting adaptation leads to stagnation. If a method fails, change it. If a plan doesn't work, redesign it. Failure isn't the problem. Insisting on what no longer works is. Organizational psychology research from Wharton shows that the most resilient leaders share this trait. They treat setbacks as information to recalibrate, not as personal failure. Now that you understand these principles, it's time to apply this mindset to life, the ultimate battlefield. A monster mindset isn't just inspiring in theory, it's lived in daily details. The difference between knowing these principles and applying them is like the difference between watching a workout video and actually exercising. Knowledge without action is mere entertainment. Consider your work life, the pressure, deadlines, responsibilities, and insecurities. Most people react impulsively, drown in stress, or freeze under pressure. They blame circumstances, bosses, or external events for their struggles. Musashi didn't react. He responded with strategy, presence, and mastery. Against a challenging opponent, he stayed calm, analyzed the situation, adapted, and executed. Applying this mindset today means focusing on what you can control. You can't control your boss's mood, but you can control your response. You can't control the market, but you can control your preparation. You can't control office politics, but you can control your professionalism. It's acting with precision, not reaction. You become someone who remains steady under pressure, a calm presence others naturally rely on. Northwestern University research confirms that employees with this type of mental resilience are 31% more productive and 37% more likely to earn promotions. They're not necessarily the most talented, but they are the most dependable under pressure. Now, consider your relationships. How often do conflicts arise because you fail to truly listen? How often do you miss the right moment to speak with clarity or step back? How often do emotions hijack your reactions? Musashi could anticipate his opponent's moves before the strike. You can do the same emotionally, reading signals, listening carefully, and avoiding unnecessary confrontations. This means knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. It means recognizing that winning an argument can sometimes mean losing the relationship. It also means having the courage to apologize when you're wrong and the wisdom to set boundaries when you're right. Many conflicts aren't about surface issues. They stem from deeper needs for respect, understanding, or security. When you learn to perceive these underlying currents, you address the real problem instead of treating mere symptoms. This too is being a warrior. True strength isn't about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself enough to bring out the best in those around you. Apply this mindset to your personal growth as well. Consider that fear which keeps you from starting something new, the feeling of not being ready, the voice that says to wait for the perfect moment, or that you lack experience or might fail. Musashi didn't wait to be ready, he trained while he fought. Every mistake became a lesson, every challenge a chance to grow. Readiness is not a prerequisite for action. Action creates readiness. The monster mindset transforms every difficult moment into a training ground. That public speaking event that terrifies you, training ground. That risky business idea, training ground. That conversation you've been avoiding, training ground. There is no defeat for those who decide to learn from everything. Life will challenge you, but you can choose to face it with courage, strategy, and purpose. This is what separates those who merely survive from those who become unshakable. Research in developmental psychology at Yale University has tracked individuals over decades and found that those who embrace challenges as growth opportunities show higher life satisfaction and achievement compared to those who avoid difficulty. To embody the monster mindset, you need a daily ritual, simple, consistent, and powerful. Something that sharpens your mind each day, just as Musashi sharpened his sword. The difference between successful people and others is systems, not goals. They don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. They don't wait for inspiration, they create it through action. Morning intention setting. Upon waking, before distractions intervene, define your intention. What challenge will you tackle today? Procrastination, fear, fatigue, or a specific task you've been avoiding. Write it down. Putting pen to paper turns vague thoughts into concrete commitments. Strategic action. Select one action that embodies this commitment. It could be a workout that pushes your limits, reading that expands your mind, or a difficult conversation you've postponed. Perform it with total presence, not mindlessly going through the motions. Intentionality matters more than busyness. Every action should have purpose. Evening reflection. At day's end, review what you learned. What worked? What didn't? What would you do differently? How did you handle pressure? Did your actions reflect the person you aspire to be? This is not just a routine, it is a sacred discipline. A warrior doesn't live on autopilot, they live deliberately in every detail. Repeated daily, this ritual builds resilience and focus. Duke University research shows that structured daily practice improves grit, the ability to persevere through long-term challenges. More importantly, practitioners report greater control over their lives and confidence in handling whatever comes their way. You don't need to live in feudal Japan to be a warrior. The real battle happens within, every day. Musashi teaches that true strength comes from discipline, strategy, and the courage to confront your fears. By adopting the monster mindset, you shape a life of purpose and transformation. The mind you build today determines the battles you will win tomorrow. So tell me in the comments, what battle will you conquer today? If this video inspired you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Until next time, keep your mind sharp and your spirit unshakable.